The main thing I got from this movie is, why can't I be Jason Momoa? Aquaman is directed by James Wan and stars Jason Momoa as Arthur Curry, aka Aquaman. And this is a bit of a cooler looking version of the really weird sort of, you know, mermaid man looking motherfucker in the comic books. And in this film he is a half-breed on his father's side. His mother is Queen Atlana of Atlantis, and she disappears because she runs away from an arranged marriage. Arthur Curry doesn't want much to do with Atlantis because his mother is presumed dead, until he finds out otherwise. And then he also finds out that his half-brother Orm is trying to basically take over all of the underwater with all of the armies to then take over the overworld. Arthur Curry, of course, this is a fucking superhero movie, he must stop this. Now, we were introduced to, let's be honest, the punchline of the DCEU back in Justice League. Well, you know, of course, apart from the really terrible email in BVS, but I'm not going to be talking about that movie at all on this channel because it's monkey jizz. So I will just say that we saw him mainly in Justice League, and I think I'm the same as everybody else, and I can say that he and Wonder Woman were the best parts of that entire movie. So how was he in his own outing? This is kind of obvious, guys. Of course he was fucking amazing. Not only did they get the biggest, baddest, tomahawk throwing, beer drinking, awesome motherfucker on the planet to play Aquaman in Jason Momoa, they completely took him away from his comic book origin, which in Aquaman's case they needed to do. It honestly, for me in this movie, he is honestly, James Wan let Jason use his entire personality. It's almost like the Robert Downey Jr. thing with Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man and Tony Stark is just Robert Downey Jr. That is exactly the same in my eyes for Aquaman. He's badass, he talks trash, and he's awesome, and he's just a muscle-bound fucking awesome dude that I want to be. And well, I was just super jealous for 2 hours. Honestly, any scene without Aquaman was kind of shitty because he's just the coolest bitch in the world. Honestly, I know the DCEU was struggling until Wonder Woman came out a couple of years back, and they were kind of on the rise, and then they went back down again with Justice League. And this movie, I really think now 6 movies in, hopefully they're finding their stride, because yeah, I really do adore Marvel, and I say that a lot on this channel, but I want DC to work, I really do. It's just a shame that only Nolan really knew how to crack into it. Now they've brought the comic book aspect into it and gone all crazy. 2 of the 6 movies they've done are good. Just please try do that again. Not only was Momoa awesome in this movie, but so is his counterpart Amber Heard. Not only is she gorgeous, of course she is, it's Amber Heard, she kicks ass, and I've said this so many times. I love a woman who can kick it. I loved Evangeline Lilly in Ant-Man and the Wasp. I love ScarJo as Black Widow. I love Lizzie Olsen as Scarlet Witch. I love Lupita Nyong'o in Black Panther. Anyone who kicks ass in any movie, I love. And the fact that she is up there with him, kicking ass with him, has cooler powers than him. She can like manipulate water and shit. She's awesome. I love her. Now, this isn't all perfect, of course. It's a DC movie. Every single enemy in this movie, anyone that isn't Arthur Curry in this movie, look like they're going to turn, or they're going to die, and then they're going to turn into a giant robot and try and fight him as like a 20-foot tall person. Yes, I'm comparing them to every baddie in Power Rangers. They look like a kids' TV Power Rangers budget kind of thing. It just honestly wasn't very immersive, because it's like these are supposed to be all powerful beings like gods underwater, yet they dress like Power Rangers to go on land. It's kind of odd considering some of them do and some of them don't. They kind of take liberties with that. I don't know, just really put me off. I was just like, I'm just watching Power Rangers when Arthur Curry isn't on screen, because him and Amber Heard are the whole human element to it, and everyone else is just a Power Ranger. Also, this is a story that has been told a lot, and not only in sort of this universe, but it's very much, for me, heavily based on the first Thor movie. Very much reminds me of that. Now, this is a bad point, but at the same time, yeah, they do need to do their origin stories. They're just really far behind Marvel. That's fine, but it just felt to me like they were just redoing Thor. The whole, you know, you have this big staff now rather than a hammer, and it breaks, and it's all about redemption, which is fine. Comic books, cool, but it did feel like they were sort of treading old ground that had been covered and done very well in the past. It's kind of a bad thing, but on the hopeful side, I really hope that it works as well, because they have a great personality like they did in Hemsworth in Momoa. Let's just hope it does well. And it really makes me, this is like the newest DC movie, right? The next one is Shazam. I really hope that does well, because that looks great. And if that goes down, I really don't know what DC can do to polish the turds that they've already laid. Oh yeah, and I have seen some reviews that say this whole movie is just CGI. Yeah, no shit, I really should stop reading the Telegraph for their reviews online, because that is fucking obvious. I don't expect anyone to be underwater for 2 fucking hours, but at the same time, right at the end, there's like a huge Lord of the Rings style fight scene. Such a head fuck. There's so much going on that I really my eyes started to blur. I didn't really understand. It was way too much. It was so weird. It was like this. Guys, this movie is good, solid fun, and it is exactly what DC needed. They needed their Thor. They needed someone to smash shit up and be really cool at doing it. Momoa and Amber Heard run the show in this movie. They make it so entertaining. Yes, it's a shame everyone's dressed like a Power Ranger in it, but DC have finally gone, leveled up. They've done something good. Guys, with all of this being said, I'm going to give Aquaman a 3 out of 5. So, there you have it, guys. There's my take on Aquaman. Now, if you have seen the movie, then please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to know, as always. Just give me and we can discuss it. I love all that. And before you go, please don't forget to like, share, tell your friends, and more importantly, press the old red button. I love it when the numbers go up. It's fun. I like seeing it. Now, please, guys, until next time, this is your friendly neighbourhood ginger guy saying, Ginge out!